Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of The Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. You know, I think I've gotten to my point in life where I need things to be explained to me at 100% accuracy. 100%. There can't be any type of inaccuracies or technicalities that don't make it through the message. In order for me to be, willing and happy about something that's going to either change or something that's going to be altered or some with minor inconveniences, they need to be very thorough in what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, how long it's going to be happening for, what's going to be affected, and how long we can expect this to happen or to continue. When I go to work, I drive down the freeway and I get off on an exit that I'm able to pretty much be right where I work or pretty close to it. I'm able to zoom down the freeway, get to work in like very, very little time. And I've been able to do that forever, And, there's traffic sometimes, not too bad. If there are accidents happening, too bad. As long as everything is functioning pretty well, I'm able to get to where I work pretty quickly without any issues and nothing, no derailments, not too many detours. I'm able to get to where I need to be within a certain amount of time and not have it take too long to get to work. Having said that, there's been this looming of construction on one of the exits that I get off, to go to work. And the exit is the one that I get off. And it's the one that's like the quickest way to get to work and back. It's really nice. I have it pretty well. I'm able to just zip to work and zip back. Not that much time is wasted. So around April 10th, April 11th, I was going down the freeway and I noticed that the sign said construction happening on this off-ramp beginning April 20th. I'm like, okay. High day is going to be, construction day, beginning of construction day. So I'm thinking like, well, I got some time, before I need to change up my route, and I would just get off on the exit prior and then kind of drive through town and get to where I work. So I guess not too bad. Wouldn't be too hard of an adjustment. So April 20th rolls around and, I take the exit prior. I take that exit. It takes me a little bit longer to get to work, but I'm able to get there on time. Doesn't matter. I don't got to leave earlier, but it's just, it's a little bit more of a cutting it close than I would like it. But I wake up too late in the morning anyway for me to actually leave earlier. So I suck it up and I'm like, you know what? I'll be fine. I'm pretty good at time management, so besides, waking up early, but I'll be able to do it. I'm a good enough driver to get there in time. I'll be okay. And then, over the weekend, I decided to go on the freeway and go down and past the exit. I noticed that the date had changed when the construction was going to be, when they were going to be working on the on ramp or off ramp, whatever, to a later date than what was put on there. I told you that it was going to be on 4/20. Then it said 4/28, and that got me a little pissed off. I'll be honest, a little like, Okay, you can't get your shit together, company, or whoever's constructing this off-ramp. I'll give you a pass on this, okay? April, what I say? It was going to be on the 20th, whatever. Push back, right? I'm like, okay, I got a few days before I have to, so I have to get off on the second, the exit before I usually get off on. So that date comes along, and I finally get there, and I don't even go far enough to even like see, do they actually commit to their promise? By the way, it's been on a sign that's on the side of the freeway that says construction going to begin on this date. And I didn't even, try to go down to see if they were telling the truth or not. I just said, fuck it, I'm going to go on off the exit that's before the exit that I like getting off on. And then another weekend passes, and then I do the same thing. I go a bit further, and then I see the sign, and I see the freeway, the exit, still wide open. Another day, the date is changed again to like May 5th, or whatever it says, right? A further date. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck is going on with this shit? I'm actually getting a little furious at this point now because, for one, they're not sticking to their date. Two, they keep pushing it back, and it has me thinking like, well, I can't use the exit that I enjoy using because it's the fastest way to get to work. And let's be honest, we're not trying to get to work late. We want to get there as fast as possible to get the day over with. That's the whole point. I don't want to have to take a road trip to get to work. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not very pleasing. I don't want to have to, spend this much money just to get to where I'm supposed to be to make money. You get what I'm saying at? So I'm getting pissed off. I don't understand why this is happening. I almost want to be like, you know what? Should I complain to the city? Should I complain to the state? Because this is some dumb shit right now. And I'm like, you know what? Nah, that make me... I wasn't actually going to do it, but I would actually never do that. But the idea does pop into my head like, boy, if I could tell them what I think of them right now, I would love to. But I never do, and I never have. I've always been able to suppress those evil thoughts of mine. Just telling somebody off that like, hey, you're dumb. Or hey, get it together. This is outrageous here, what you're doing. And how much you're delaying my life and other people's lives that go down this freeway every day, every morning when it's like the most busiest, And I'm not even like on it when it's like even at its peak busy, but it's like borderline like gonna be that within a few more minutes. You know what I'm saying? So I believe like at this point it's now April 15th and I'm still taking the second exit from where I'm supposed to be getting off, making the effort, going against my route and doing it because, well, I have a little bit of respect for the company or for whoever's going to be constructing and making the roads, I feel, a better place for its drivers. I intend and I believe that is their main goal, to make driving down the freeway a much more pleasant experience. Why would I not think that? I think that we would all like to think that, and I think that the people who are constructing like to think that they're doing a good deed and being like, we're going to make such a difference for the daily commute. I am so happy and proud that we're going to be able to accomplish this for the common man, for the working class person that lives in this general area and uses this freeway every single day. That's what I hope. That's exactly what I hope is going on in their brains when they can do this construction. And I hope that that's what was going on when they kept delaying it week after week after week. Promises after promises broken, shattered, destroyed. never to be, never to be kept. Atrocious. So at this point in the story, I'm still using the freeway. I haven't detoured. I haven't gone a different route. I've just taken the exit before my actual exit. So I've been able to get there relatively quick. Not as quick as I would like, but relatively quick. And then just last week, I decided to do the same thing. I decided to do, just go down and get off on the exit before my exit, which is, been promoted on the sign that the exit that I'd like to get off on is being worked on this date. I have it in my mind that it's already happening at this time. I'm like, I think that this is the day, so I should be, I'm not going to go and chance it. I'm just going to get off on the exit right before my exit that I usually get off on. Well, as I'm going down the freeway, I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm ready. It's a beginning of a new week. Let's get it. Get that bread. And then I see a big line of traffic starting to pile up, pretty close to the exit where I'm supposed to get off on. And I'm like, what's going on here? And I notice all the lanes of traffic begin to shift to the left. And I see a roadblock divider that goes all the way down as far as the eye can see on the freeway. And I'm thinking to myself, what on earth is this? What on earth is happening? And as I go down more and more and more, I notice that both of the exits are shut down, are under construction. And at this point, I'm like, not only did these people delay their promise, but they lied to me. They not only shut down my exit, but the detour exit I've been taking for almost a month now, prior, they shut that down as well. But their sign didn't say that. Their sign said the further exit, not the closer exit. I couldn't believe what I had seen. Both the streets were shut down. Both the exits were shut down. I was like, no way did this just happen to me. After I had been obeying by their signage for about a month now, more than a month, and preparing myself for the upcoming, preparing myself for the inevitable that was going to happen. And I prepared myself as much as I could. It didn't matter. I was bamboozled, played, led astray. That's a quote from somewhere, I'm not sure. But I was just, my trust was betrayed by these construction workers. They should have at least told the truth and not be like, oh, don't worry, only one exit's going to be closed. Everyone can just get off on this one. It'll be backed up a little bit, but hey, you'll be able to do it. But I couldn't believe it. I actually could not believe it. And I was like 15 minutes late. Luckily, I was able to, tell my bosses like, hey, I'm never going to happen again, all right? Trust me, I'm cool, I'm solid. Ain't nothing to worry about, just a little late. I'm good. But still, for me to have to go through all that, it was a disgrace. It betrayed my trust. And you know how you see construction workers just kind of dilly-dally on the freeway, not really do their job. It was like they were like beginning the workday, and they shut it down. They got all the roadblocks in place and just divided every lane. I was like, "Dear God, you got to be kidding me." But it was a tragic day. But it's like, I expect the truth to be told on the signages that are on the streets and on the roads and on the freeways and the highways. Like, you gotta please, give me accurate information. It's important. Not only for me, but everybody else's day. Gotta have accurate information. Maybe I should have, tuned into, the news or something. Local news. My favorite type of news. The news that's supposed to be getting, supporting you, and they got your back. Every news station's like, every local news station is like, KCN12 News, the news for you. Or we got your back at CF4 News. Or always on your side, AB10 News, like something like that. Maybe I should have tuned in. I wouldn't have been in this predicament. I wouldn't have been late. That's what the company's going to say, who's doing construction. Well, you should have been informed. Well, sir, I had been reading your sign on the road. You lied to me. If only I had evidence. If only I was able to, take a picture of the sign and be like, hey, look at this, dipshit. It said one exit, not both. And be like, show his boss, like, oh, look at this guy. This idiot gave me false information. I'm pretty sure like that is being like able to be, shown to like someone's boss, depending on what kind of work, the line of work that they're in. And you might be able to win that argument or win that lawsuit or whatever the hell it's called. Some type of shit. I don't know, but I'm not that type of person. I'm not going to complain and get the person in trouble. It's a minor inconvenience, but a minor one that could have been avoided with proper and truthful information. But yet again, minor. Nobody got hurt. I was late, but just one day. 15 minutes is not too bad. Not too bad at all. Didn't harm nobody. Wasn't a big deal. Was not a big deal. I mean, on that day, right? The day of the construction beginning. You know how I said that we broke off into two lanes on the left side? I was on the right lane, the more right lane than the left one. And we were going down, and traffic was very slow. It was like stop and go almost. And then to my left, there was a little like Honda Civic, I think. Same car as me. And we're like keeping up with the same pace. We're like, our traffic is pretty much at level. We're moving at the same speed as, both sides of traffic. And then we come to like one complete stop for like maybe 3 seconds. And then we start to go again. I begin to go forward and he does not move. And I'm thinking like he's either trying to move or merge lanes or something or what. But I noticed that his turn signal was not on. He was not trying to merge. And then I saw his headlights like flicker. Like not like hazards, but like just his headlights were flickering. I was like, what's going on here? And as I'm pulling away, as I'm like, not being able to see him in my rear view mirror on my left side, or my side mirror on my left side, I see that his hazards come on. I'm like, damn, bro. Talk about like the worst timing for your car to die in the middle of traffic with only 2 working lanes that traffic can flow to, and your car just died. You got cars behind you, trying to go to work as well, and people trying to commute, and it was just like, dang. Thank God it wasn't me, because we got the same type of car pretty much. And I was just like, oh my God. I said a prayer. I was like, thank you, Lord Christ, for not making me stranded in this absolute hellhole. You never want to be stranded, ever, when you're driving. You see people with their cars smoking or their hoods popped up and them just looking at what's inside. Like, no way any average Joe is going to be able to pop the hood of their car and fix what's wrong with their car right then and there. It's bullshit. It's what you do to stall time and to look that you're not like you have somewhat of a control of the situation. At least appear that you might know what you're doing is correct, but it's never the case. That's always the worst. And this guy he didn't even get off on the shoulder. He was just in one of the lanes, just boop, my car died, bro. Sorry. I couldn't believe it. Yes, he would have to call AAA or the insurance to give me a tow and get me the hell out of here, because it was just awful. I wouldn't even know what to do. It's stupid. I would, but I'd be like, oh no, turn on car, please. Get me out of here. But dude, I just could not imagine being in that situation and being like that stranded. Huh. Minor inconveniences. Talk about, a minor inconvenience is car trouble. I would much rather have my car trouble like anywhere else but a freeway in the middle of like rush hour traffic. People got to go to work and your car just dies in the middle of the lane. Nah. I mean, I wouldn't say, it would just be a bad thing. It would be a terrible, terrible thing. Today actually marks June 1st, which is pretty crazy because we're already pretty much like halfway through the year. Pretty much already halfway through the year. And, it's kind of bizarre to think about that. It's bizarre because at one point, it felt like the beginning of the year. It felt like January. Like, I feel like it was just like maybe a couple weeks ago where I had that feeling. That it was like the beginning of the year, fresh new year. Maybe because it's not been like super hot this week. I think yesterday was like maybe 79 degrees, so it kind of gave me vibes of like early spring, late winter, and I was like, it's not that bad outside. And look at the calendar, right? And it's like almost June, like today's June 1st. It's like, dude, what happened? The time just went away. Being busy, doing stuff, hanging, chilling, working, podcasting, and then it's just like out of the blue, June 1st already, 2023. Where did the time go? I'm trying to think about, like, back on it right now. June 1st already, right? 6 more months, and it's December 1st. Like, already right then and there. It's going to happen sooner or later. People are already out of school. People are graduating. People are about to graduate, right? From school, high school, whatever, right? People, the school year has ended for a lot of people out there. So they're already focusing on the new year. It's already June, so that means baseball is at the midway point, right? It ends in October. And it doesn't end in October. It's like the borderline of it's like almost the midway point, actually. The midway point is July, actually. It's not, so we're not really there yet for baseball. Basketball, the finals begin today. So like we are already like that much closer to like the end of the year. I don't mean to seem like I'm already like waiting for it to be the end of the year. It's just it's already like upon us. So it's like it's hard to be like, hey, we got time left in this year. Make as what you will, do what you want. Summer is approaching, so that means it's time to get, tanned. Time to go outside. Maybe go to the beach, the water park, go to the mountains, whatever you do. Outside activities will be happening, which I never thought summer was the best year for that to happen. But I digress. I guess I'm wrong. I guess, it is the time to do stuff outside. You know how they always promote, stores and TV commercials and, companies like to promote like within the season of things that are, the seasons throughout the year. Apparently, like the summer years or the time when you're supposed to be going outside and doing stuff. But I want to know what they were thinking, because do they not understand that summer means it's hot as shit? It's hot, and I don't want to be outside. I want to be inside in the air-conditioned house or air-conditioned building. I don't want to be outside where I have to sweat and face the sun. If I'm a person that needs sunblock, I'm going to need sunblock. And you want me to have a picnic and buy a lawn chair and buy an awning or like a little one of those easy up roofs that you put out to give yourself some shade when you're outside? I don't want that. First of all, has anybody ever like put up one of those easy up things? They're not that easy. Sometimes they unfold when you get them out of their packaging for the first time, you unfold them and they're kind of stuck. They don't really, expand all that easy, and it takes a little bit of effort for them to expand to their ideal size to give you some shade when you're outside. That takes a while, and when you're done using it, by God in heaven, for some reason, it can never be squished to the same size as you got when the first time you opened it up. It never goes back down. That's the same thing with sleeping bags. That's the same thing when you open up a box with an air mattress. You can never fold it the way that it was shipped to you. It's impossible. Unless you wait, with an air mattress, you actually lay on it and get every ounce of air that was ever put into it out of it is never going to be able to fit back in the box as perfect as you did when you bought it. It's impossible. Has anybody ever thought of that? That maybe send me a bag. That way I could get rid of this box because it won't fit unless it's airtight sealed with no goddamn air in it. I've wondered that quite a bit because I used to go camping quite a bit back in the day. And that would always be the same problem, is whenever we would go camping, we would get air mattresses, and then we would have to pack them up and go home. First of all, it would just never would fit in the box, and it would always make packing up to go home take even longer than packing to go to the place. And first of all, my family used to pack to go camping for a day, 2 days, 3 days to just pack to go because, you'd fuck around, you would take breaks and just not pack for a while and then take too long to pack. And then you're rushing the next day. Oh, we got to go by this time. And then you never really go on time. And then when you leave, it's okay, we're packing in 2 hours and we're going to go. It's that ain't even possible, bro. It's just not possible. Because when you get there, you fucking take everything out and make the area like your home as best as you can. Take all the shit out, and it's oh, yes, home sweet home. And then when you're going to leave, it's oh, we got to pack everything up within 2 hours. It's that shit ain't possible. It's just not going to happen. And that's just kind of how it goes. And they want us to be outside. They encourage you to go outside and do activities in the heat, in the sun. Now, there's certain activities that are pretty much akin, connected with summer that I have left exceptions for. Number one is anything with a pool. Swimming, just hanging out in the pool, playing volleyball in the pool, playing some kind of thing in the pool. Pool activities, number one thing, recreational, give you an excuse to go outside during the summer. Why? Because you're in a pool. You're in water. That's hopefully cool enough for you to get into, depending on where you live and how hot your pool can get, or if it even gets that hot. I don't even know if you can even regulate temperatures with a pool, even if it's hot. I have no idea. But hopefully you're in a pool that is cool, right? You can go cool off when it's a hot summer day. That I can understand, right? I can understand that when it's summer, right? You need a recreational activity outside. A pool is probably the number one thing to do. Number two, probably the beach. Depending on where you go and where you live. I live in California. So the California beaches and the California coasts are usually a lot cooler than inland California. So when I go to the coast or to the beach during the summer, it's quite pleasant. Mostly pleasant. It can get a little warm, but for the most part, it's not as bad as inland California, during the summer at least. So the beach where I live is perfect for you to, go and cool off, have some fun. Whether it be Santa Monica, Santa Cruz, Santa Barbara, wherever you want to go, big beaches like that, they're usually going to be cooler than the inland California, right? Number three is probably something at night. If you're going to be doing stuff at night or in the summer at night or during the summer in California or wherever you are, and you're not by a pool and you're not by a beach, do it closer to the night. That way the sun isn't on you and it's gone down quite a bit. It might be a cool 89 degrees when you do it, but it won't be like 105. It won't be like 110 maybe. It'll be much cooler. And you won't have the sun beating down on you, and you'll be able to do stuff that doesn't take as much needing like a pool or being by a beach for you to have some fun, or even by like a water park, right? By the way, water park goes with pool activity, because a water park just has a bunch of pools, whether it's a slide connected to a pool that's like a river, a pool with like a couple slides, or like a wave pool, or like our lazy river type of. That's still a pool. It's just a very long pool with a trail that follows a trail. It's the same shit, but that kind of falls into that category as well. But I see like these commercials and promotions for, products that have people just sitting in the sun in the summer doing nothing. You're just sitting out there looking all happy and looking all cool, hydrated, not hot whatsoever. It totally disbands reality. Like, you're telling me that these people in this picture to promote a lawn chair are just enjoying hot dogs and hamburgers in the bright sun with no shade, and the dude over there is grilling in the sun, not under an awning or under shade. First of all, do these people even know the absolute struggles of grilling of barbecuing in summer in the sun? It's pretty much undoable. You need to be able to, first of all, park your barbecue like somewhere in the shade, and, being able to take breaks and walk away from the barbecue, just to get yourself cool. Because if you're going to be barbecuing in, like, let's say just 105-degree heat in the middle of summer, and you're going to be right over a grill that has fire, that is cooking food at a hot temperature, it's not going to be a pleasant thing to do. It never is. I don't know why people like to, make it seem like it's so easy or it's such a nice time. It's cool. It's all right, but it's not as good as it's pictured in fantasy commercials. It's just not. Companies like to think that, yeah, people want to be outside during summer. Absolutely not. We don't want to be outside. How many times do people go outside during the summer and be like, oh, I can't stand it, I need to get back inside? Everybody. That's literally everybody. So all this shit, this whole like fantasy about summer, how it's like so much fun, and you can do anything in it. You can have so much fun in the summer. That honestly dwindles away once you're out of school. Because when you're in school, it seems like the best thing in the world. Because, for one, you get like 3 months off of school to do whatever you want. The younger you are, the better. You just feel like you have more fun and more time. And then once you get into college, it's like, yeah, it's cool, but, got to work and shit. And then once you're out of school completely, you're like, okay, it's just another 3 months. It's just now these months are hot as shit. It doesn't matter. I wish I could appreciate summer as much as I did when I was a kid. And I wish I could have the energy and the drive to do shit like that in the summer, because that was a fun time. I tell you, man, summer already, and they want us to be like, go outside, do shit. I can't think of one really solid place in anywhere in summer and be like, yeah, it's not bad here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's not. It doesn't get that hot. Like, I think about all the states out there, right? Like, California is like a desert. I would not just want to be outside for fun, willy-nilly in the summer. I've been in Central California. I've been in LA. I've been in the coast during the summer. It's not all that great. And then I think about other states like Nevada. It's got to be hot as shit there too. I've been to Vegas in the summer. It's hell. It's cool, but you got to go out at night because it's hot as fuck over there. Arizona probably can't be that great either. The East Coast, I'm pretty sure, is bad too. Humidity off the chain as well. Florida, it's got to be like the worst time to live, right? To just be alive out there with all the humidity. I've seen videos of people being outside in Florida that just kind of go out, walk around, and they look like they've been sweating for like for hours. Like, why would you even want to go to Florida? It makes no sense. I guess the beaches are pretty cool. I've heard the beaches are pretty nice, but like just to go there to be surrounded by anacondas and pythons and crocodiles and alligators and then be sweaty all the time. I don't know. Probably not for me. Florida, probably good for like old people. Probably just the humidity probably makes them moist and it doesn't make them as crusty and dry. So that might be why old people move to Florida, is because it moisturizes them. It makes them moist. And they probably don't, wrinkle as fast in Florida. Whether if you live in like, a cold place like New York, even in the summer in New York, it's pretty humid. So like, I don't understand the big appeal of Florida. I guess because it's in Florida, it's like warm all the time. Where in New York, it's like warm in the summer. And then the fall and the winter is like brittle as shit, brutal and just frigid. And then spring is pretty nice and then summer is all right. But those 2 months are probably going to be fall and winter and maybe some spring, probably like frigid ass temperatures. And like, this cold is drying me out. I got to go to Florida and get all moist. That's what I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like if I moved to Florida, I wouldn't have as much dry skin as I do now. But maybe that's just, maybe that's not true. I'm no doctor, but I feel like the humidity in Florida could probably cure the dry skin of mine. It's been pretty bad lately. I've had to been putting, cream on my hands because my hands get dry. And sometimes my skin on my fingers cracks and it looks weird. I've been trying to avoid that. But I hate putting on lotion in the middle of the day because when I put it on, even though it works well, I can't grip shit or can't like hold on to shit because it slips out of my hands. Phone, water bottle, anything like that just slips out of my hands. So my solution has been to moisturize my hands when I go to sleep. That way, I'm asleep. Let it do its work. I don't wash it off. I don't like rub it off. I leave it on my hands and let it soak in and get all moisturized. That way, in the morning, after I shower, I moisturize. I should be okay for a while. I wouldn't be as bad. But yeah, it's kind of been a thing I've had to work around because I just can't do it in the middle of the day when I got to do stuff and touch stuff and operate and all that stuff. I don't actually operate. I'm just using words to to describe what I do with my hands. You operate around shit. You move shit, you pick up shit, you touch shit, you screw shit, all that stuff. Speaking of June though, I've been talking about the weather in June and how it's changing, and now we're pretty much into summer. But this June actually has a pretty sweet lineup of films that's coming out. Pretty sweet lineup. I know this weekend is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which I can't wait to see. However, I might have to see that the following week, which is kind of disappointing because I will be going out of town this weekend. Therefore, I kind of can't really see it opening night. So that's a bummer. Definitely a bummer that I don't mind having because I'm going to be going with my family out of town, so that'll be nice. That'll be fun. But Spider-Verse is going to be like the first film that really kicks off this June, which, like I said, it has a lot of movies coming out. We got that movie, and then the week after that, let me see what we got. We have there's a lot of stuff that comes up when you search on IMDb. Let's see. The following weekend, we got Transformers Rise of the Beasts, which is coming out, which, I'll be honest with you, I am not the biggest Transformers fan. I used to be when Shia LaBeouf had his films. Those were fun as shit. Those were fun as fuck. I liked those movies. I really, really did. And they haven't really been all that great, in my opinion, since. I have seen the Mark Wahlberg one. I believe it was called, what was the Mark Wahlberg one called? It wasn't The Last Night. That was one of them, but I didn't see that one. Age of Extinction, I believe, is the one I saw. That one was awful. Terrible. Just awful. I have always wanted Transformers and Fast and Furious to merge and to crossover since the last Shia LaBeouf movie, I think. I just said, fuck it, just do it. Because Autobots are cars, Dom Toretto drives cars, they fight bad guys. Why can't the bad guys be Decepticons? Why can't we have Dom Toretto and the family team up with Optimus Prime and the Autobots and fight the Decepticons? That would be lit as shit. I've been saying that for years. But now I'm on the record. I want it trademarked. That's my idea. So that's that. That's going to be coming out the weekend after. I believe Transformers comes out June 9th, which is a week after Spider-Verse. Then after that is the Flash movie. The one to reboot them all. The one to reset everything. The Flash. The next DC film that's supposed to reboot the DC universe, which I've heard is quite amazing. Not just by, people who've seen it, but like Tom Cruise loves it, Henry Cavill loved it, other celebrities have said it's amazing. I don't think that this is going to be the greatest movie of all time, but god damn it, it better be close to it, because too many people of high caliber celebrityism are liking this movie too much, which is also kind of weird, because why are they voicing their opinion on a movie that they're not even involved in this well? Also, it's a film that is from a genre that has plagued cinema for at least a good 10 years. That's all they fucking make nowadays, is superhero films. So it's weird for me to see somebody like Tom Cruise be like, The Flash is really great. The Flash is amazing. Like, what are you... Where is this coming from? Who's paying you for this? Like, I don't understand. Like, I agree. Like, I want the movie to do well. I want the movie to be well because I want to see it. I want to like it. But seeing all this praise from people who are not even involved in the movie, not even like connected in a way, not even really like have been like very well spoken of the genre or superhero films like ever, or even had any interest. I mean, Henry Cavill was Superman for a good not 9 years, but still, like it just is weird. It's so weird. The praise and the how much people like this film is strange, because there's even more, because a lot of people have seen it at like CinemaCon, which was like a month ago, and it's like, how have they seen this full film and they're not allowed to say shit about it? Like, what? Doesn't it seem kind of weird? Now, of course, people can say like how they reacted to it, like what they liked about it. They can't necessarily review it until like maybe a week or two more before the movie comes out. But like, it's, to me, that's always been kind of weird, of how people have seen this Flash movie. Like, a lot of people have seen it, and they can't really say shit about it. Like, was that because Warner Brothers is confident, but also not very confident because they're too scared of what people actually think? But even though I've been hearing a lot of positive shit about it from celebrities and just regular people, like, I don't understand. It's weird to me. But that movie comes out June 16th. That'll be a one to watch. Coming out that same day is that movie Elemental, that new Disney Pixar film that's coming out. I'm not going to see that. Not really interested in that film, I'll be honest. And then after that, towards the very end of the June 30th, in fact, is Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, which people have seen. Critics and I think mainly critics have seen it, and I think it was shown at the Cannes Film Festival, I think, like maybe 2 weeks ago. I want to say 2 weeks ago. People have seen it. A lot of people have seen it, and it got mixed reviews. Now, I haven't read reviews. I don't read reviews really, but I do like to scope in on one particular publication when reviews come out. When, people when media outlets review films and they put up a score. And that media outlet that I like to follow is IGN. IGN, I feel like, is very studio friendly, very executive friendly, being whether it be games, films, TV shows. They're very, very nice when it comes to reviewing a studio's work. They give a lot of 7s out there. A lot of 7s to a lot of films that don't necessarily deserve 7s, in my opinion. And I just feel like, I saw the review that it was already posted, and I want to see exactly. I'm pulling up IGN right now because I remember seeing it, and I want to see when exactly they posted this review, because when I saw it, it was quite shocking. For one, how I didn't see it before, because I saw the review much later after it was already posted. I believe to say that I saw it like last week when I actually saw the review, but it actually came out way earlier than I had thought, and it was definitely like kind of surprising. So let me see. They posted the review for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny 12 days ago from when I'm recording, but let me see the actual date when it was posted. So it was posted on May 19th, this review. Fully review, right? 12 days from today, right? May 19th, sorry. And that's well more than a month before the film is actually released. When I see these reviews like that, I'm thinking like the movie's got to be incredible, right? It's got to be good. They wouldn't release reviews like this if they didn't feel this confident about this film. And then I don't listen to or read reviews. I just look for their scores. For one, because it's a movie that I want to see myself. I want to see, and I'm excited to see it. It's Indiana Jones. Of course I want to see it, right? So I'm like holding off, like I'm not going to, I never really listen or read the reviews, ever. Any reviews. So I just scrub to the end score, because they always put the number score at the end, out of 10. These guys gave it a 4. IGN gave Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny a 4 out of 10. I was thinking like, whoa, that ain't like IGN, bruh. That ain't what IGN is about. They're Mr. Seventh Heaven over there. They give 7s like a slot machine. Doesn't give me 7s. They always give 7s. You can get 3 7s in a row from IGN any given day. Any given day you get 7s from IGN across the board. Game, movie, TV show, manga, whatever the fuck. Book. 7. They gave this movie a 4. And their word description with the rating of 4 is bad. And I was thinking like, interesting. Extremely interesting. Do I believe them? Of course not. Why would I? But on the other hand, 4 for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, a film that was supposed to bring the studio back from the depths, Lucasfilm, who hasn't made a movie or hasn't released a movie since 2019 with The Rise of Skywalker, that is shit, and looks like you're coming back with another heaping pile of shit. Listen, I am usually, confident in going into films, no matter what critics say, no matter what reviewers say. I don't know. I mean, like, if this movie is really not that good, and you got Harrison Ford behind it, you got James Mangold directing it, who has proven to direct incredible films like Logan, Ford versus Ferrari, other magnificent films in his filmography, going to be directing that new Star Wars film of the origin of the Jedi, the first Jedi. Who knows now? But you would think that this movie, this Indiana Jones movie, would be pretty lit. But it got a 4. They gave it a 4. That is a little that's a little upsetting. That's a little disappointing. And I know I'm not taking this into consideration for when I see the film. But it's not something, that's not the kind of press you want to hear. If you're Lucasfilm, if you're Harrison Ford, if you're an Indiana Jones fan, like, really, a 4? Wow. Okay. This might not be very good. So I guess you should probably lower expectations, even though I'm not about that life. I really don't think that lifestyle is suitable for your one life that you get on this planet. Lowering expectations has never ever been my lifestyle ever. So I'm just gonna kind of ignore it, what they're saying, and go see it for myself. But that is a little discouraging. That is a little discouraging, I have to say. With how much press I was behind this and how much, information that was being shared about it, who's behind it, how long it's been taking them to make it, and when to put it out, and Harrison Ford being back in it, of course it's should be decent, but a 4 out of 10? Okay. You got me. I was excited, but now I'm a little curious, I'll be honest. I was excited, but now I'm a little curious. I still want to see it. Still want to see it, 100%. I'm going to see it. It's Indiana Jones, his last film. But I have to admit, I'm a little curious about what I'm about to see. I will not lower expectations. I will not lower them at all. But I'm a little curious. And I'll be honest, too. The trailers for this film were a little off to me, too. Mixing in, like, rock music with the Indiana Jones theme. Just kind of a weird feel. Just kind of a weird vibe. It didn't really match the tone of Indiana Jones, I thought. I can't remember the song, but I think it's like a Guns N' Roses song. Or I don't know. I can't remember what song, but it's a song that's in the trailer. That's got like a jungle-y beat to it. And it just did not fit. I was like, I don't know what you're trying to show here. Like, are you trying to show like a Indiana Jones for the new generation, but still be way back in the day? It doesn't really make any sense. You're trying to get like a younger vibe with it, but he's an older dude. I don't understand. Like, it didn't make any sense. So, while the trailers have not really super gotten me excited, I still want to see it. I still really want to see it. I want it to be good, but I'm a little worried. But I'm not going to lower my expectations. But I'm just a little worried. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Last off, we'll talk about sports. The finals are set. They begin today. The Miami Heat versus the Denver Nuggets in the 2023 NBA Finals. We can definitely all say that this was not the matchup that the NBA wanted. No sirree, Bob. They did not want this at all. They wanted Lakers Celtics. We all knew that. We did not get that. They did not get that. And as I kind of wanted that, as I was kind of thinking, you know what? Lakers Celtics would be pretty tight. It would be pretty tight. Even though the rivalry to me is not as strong as it used to be, it would be pretty cool to see that. And the NBA would absolutely want that. But I have to say, having seen quite a bit of Nuggets basketball and Heat basketball, I'm actually pretty excited for these finals. Because I definitely do think that the better team advanced and the better team is playing in the finals. And I got no problem saying that. The Nuggets were better, far, far, far better than the Lakers. Swept them in 4 games. And yeah, sure, the Boston Celtics came back and forced a Game 7, but then laid an absolute egg in Game 7 at home in front of the Boston crowd and just got obliterated. And yes, the Heat were a better team. And listen, if you're the Celtics, man, if you have two choices, do you really push it to Game 7, being down 3-0, just to lose that way in Game 7? Literally have like no life, nothing, just flat out get blown out in Game 7. Honestly, would you rather just have gotten swept? I think I would have. That might have been more embarrassing than getting swept, I'll be honest. You come back, you win 3 games in a row to force a Game 7 at home in Boston just to lose it? Nah, that's not me. I don't want to have to go through all that just to lose at home. Not only do you lose, Jason Tatum gets injured, pretty much unusable the entire game. Jaylen Brown turns the ball over 8 times, 7 times. Derek White for a moment is your best player. Couldn't play as a functioning team the entire game. Fuck that, I'd rather get swept. Fuck that. You can't tell me that those fuckers on that team were like, yeah, at least we got there, We were down 3-0 and we came back. I understand that coming back from down 3-0 to tie it 3-3 to go to a Game 7 was epic. And everybody in the media, Charles Barkley, Shaq, Kenny, everybody on ESPN, Stephen A., they all were like, Celtics going to win. The Celtics came back and they're going to win. They're going to beat the Heat at home and make the comeback and become the first team in NBA history to come back from 3-0 in a series and go to the finals. No, that didn't happen. In fact, they went out in the most pathetically way possible. It disjointed, did not look like a team that knew how to play basketball. Functioning team basketball. It was so bad. I understand that Jason Tatum was out. That he was pretty much, he couldn't be used. He couldn't cut on that ankle. He couldn't run that fast on that ankle. He was ginger. He was scared. He couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. And I saw the injury happen live. I saw it happen. He decided not to shoot the 3 and go to the hoop, and then boom, injured. That was the one thing that I was thinking, damn, he should have shot. He should have just shot that ball. He would not have injured his ankle like that. Because he was about to, and then he went to the basket and then got injured. It's damn, bro. You were about to shoot it. You were going to shoot it, and you decided not to. They couldn't hit threes. 3 ball was pretty much non-existent. And the Heat, Caleb Martin, they just wanted it more. Now they're your Eastern Conference champion. They're going up against the Denver Nuggets. I just want to get that out. The Celtics, they all thought that they were going to come back. Everybody in the world thought they were going to come back and complete the sweep because Miami, just were demoralized in those 2 games where they let it slip away. 3 games where they let it slip away. Yeah, they came back, but Boston just really showed themselves that they could not function without Tatum, and that pressure was just too much, I think. They'll tell you, you ask the player, no, there wasn't pressure at all. Bullshit. But I don't care. I'm not an NBA player. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I think that they blew it. And fuck you. I don't give a shit. Yeah, well, we made the comeback from down 3-0. No one gives a shit. You just won 3 games in a row. That's all you did. You didn't move on. The objective is to move on. You did not move on. You did one thing that's expected when you want before you can move on, but you didn't actually move on. So therefore, your comeback is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Again, I'd much rather get swept. I think every single Boston Celtic would be like, yeah, should have got swept. Would have been on vacation sooner. But, went to Game 7, and who cares? We blew it. I've said this many times. Not about the Celtics, not about basketball, but about baseball. I've seen when the Dodgers, kind of have hope in series in the playoffs and they end up losing it. Like, might as well just not even fucking go that far. Why toy with me like this if you're not going to make it? It's a sick thing in sports. The series in basketball and baseball, it's a sick thing. It's sick. It's disgusting. Series are no fun for anybody because you have moments where you win games and you look great and you have momentum, and the next game, nothing. You have nothing. You have no mojo. You have no rhythm, no momentum, no skill. No one shows up, and you lose. And then you gotta either win more to move on, that go through more more stress and all that, or you actually win. You either win or you lose, right? But it's a painful way to get there. The series is painful. It's sometimes I wish that it was just a one and done. Sometimes I do wish that because it's so hard to perform against the same team for potentially 7 games and being able to, beat them 4 times. You got to get 4 wins against one team and to move on. And as a fan, you can be like, yeah, game 6 when we came back and we won at the buzzer, that was fucking sick. That was amazing. At the end, it doesn't matter because you didn't move on. You didn't do anything. You might as well have gotten swept. Why? Like, why go through all that just to lose? That to me is where I'm like, damn, like it's cool to have moments in the series, but like also it's like, why even fucking bother to come out and try and force it to a game 7 for what? To lose? Nah. I feel like that's what probably most Celtics fans feel like is why even bring it to 7 just to lose? I can see why come back from 3 down just to lose it. I don't see any reason why you're like, I'm glad we got to game 7. I'm glad we made it to game 7. Other than maybe Joe Mazzulla keeping his job. Jason Tatum's hurt though. He wasn't injured before that. If he got swept, he wouldn't be injured. Maybe that's loser talk, but it's also like intellectual talk. It's like you got to be able to see where I'm not saying like giving up is much better, but I think that if they knew the outcome, probably just not even try. But of course they didn't. That's all about sports is the unknown. But when you look back on it, it's like it should have gotten swept. But that's only the take that you can make when the series is over. Should have got swept. They should have. They really... Of course, you can't make that before it happens. Obviously, you can't state that before it happens. But once it does happen, you have complete freedom to say that. Should have gotten swept. Sorry, but it's true. Should have gotten swept. So, I think that with the finals being set, I think the Nuggets are going to win in 6 games. I think the Heat are good enough to win 2 games, but I think that the Nuggets are just really good as a team. A complete basketball team that have the coaching, the discipline, the offensive power to beat the Heat 4 times. So I'm going to go with the Nuggets in 6. That's my prediction for the NBA Finals. And that's going to do it for me today, people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Remember, you can listen to this podcast and watch this podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube at Intelligent Moron with Alex Silva. This podcast drops every Thursday morning. Make sure to like, subscribe, rate, review, and do all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys next week.